What's up everybody, and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. And we do have to do a couple of things before we start the review today. As you know, Texas has been devastated by Hurricane Harvey, and AGR's Pop Culture Reviews has partnered up with the American Red Cross to help in that relief effort. So the proceeds from this episode will all go to help out the victims of Harvey who are still suffering from this devastating storm. But honestly guys, even though there has been an overwhelming response to try to help out in the relief effort, they still need a lot of help. So if you want to donate whatever you can, the minimum is $10, you can go to redcross.org and you can put your donation through. And here's the great thing guys, they've made it even easier for you to donate. You can either pay by Visa, check, MasterCard, or you can use Apple Pay or even your PayPal account. So please guys, give what you can. And I just want to say, even though you may not be a fan of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews, as collectors, we are part of a very unique brotherhood. We're very privileged to own these items. And to those fellow collectors down in Texas, I hope that your collections were spared and you didn't lose too much, even though in the greater scheme of things, that's not really important right now. But our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. Alright guys, let's get to the review. So here's the thing guys, with owning a piece like this, you either A, need to be a serious collector, or you really need to manage your space really well, because this thing is freaking enormous. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Incredible Hulk and the Wolverine Maquette. Let's take a closer look. Now I'm going to stray away a little bit from my initial formula because frankly, this damn thing wouldn't fit where I normally do the filming for some of the reviews. But I did have to kind of like, put something together in order to put this thing on. So, as I said before, this is a massive piece, guys. The other thing I have to say about these pieces is that oftentimes when you get them in the mail, the boxes are enormous, and this one is no different. And I have to admit, sometimes when I collect these pieces, I'm actually a little bit overwhelmed with what I'm going to take out of the box. Now, that could be a good thing or a bad thing, because you know what, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but you often start questioning why the hell you keep collecting these things. But then you snap back into reality when you see what's in the box, and that's essentially what I felt when I took this piece out. Guys, if you have second thoughts about owning this, and it is pretty expensive, once you get this thing home and out of the box, you are not going to have any regrets, because this thing is gorgeous. Immediately, in order to do this review the right way, you have to recognize that this is actually two statues in one. So I'm going to separate this review first by looking at the Hulk, and then also by doing the review of the Wolverine, because they are integrated in a very cool way, but they have to be done separately and equally. Now obviously this maquette is inspired by the original time that we see Wolverine in the comics, and that was the Incredible Hulk number 180, and I think it came out in October of 1974. I have to fact check that, but I'm pretty sure that's the date. Guys, the head sculpt on this Hulk is absolutely outstanding. I am blown away by how beautiful this is. It is not a freaking maquette in my eyes. This belongs in a museum. This is master craftsmanship. I mean, look at this, guys. Take a look at the skin, the countenance in the face, the roar, the teeth, especially the hair. I mean, look, guys, this is absolutely gorgeous. Now guys, one of the signature things about the Hulk is his incredible physique. That is the whole point. But even this is incredibly impressive, guys. Look at the detail there. The pectoral muscles, the stretching among the muscles is incredible. The obliques, the abdominals, especially the veins in his huge arms. Look at the deltoids. I mean, guys, this is spectacular. It's unbelievable that somebody was able to sculpt this. Again, one of the greatest things about this piece, or at least the side from the Hulk, is that they definitely use a lot of mixed media here, or at least in his pants. The color, I think, is perfect. They got the perfect hue right. And if you look, there's a little bit of shading there. I especially like the sculpt in the folds. And what's even cooler than that is the little details in terms of the little tears and rips that kind of come through. And you see his green skin through that, and it contrasts really well. Overall, this was a great job, guys. Now, the other impressive thing is definitely the feet. You guys know how I am about that. The stances are very important, and this looks incredible, guys. Now, this maquette would not be complete, and it would not make any sense without the Wolverine. And guys, this thing is just freaking awesome. I love the traditional costume, even though I think in the films it would look really ridiculous. But if you're a purist and you love those old comics, you will love this suit. It is absolutely amazing. I love the sculpt in his face. I definitely love the black that they used here, and I like that they used the comic book yellow. It looks really great. The veins in his neck look spectacular, and if you'll notice, there was a lot of detail that they put in terms of scuff marks. The center mass of the body is equally impressive. the muscles in the chest and the abdominals look freaking great, guys. But most important for me, and something that I've been waiting in a maquette or statue of Wolverine for a long time, is definitely in the shoulders, and to have those scuff marks is just freaking cool. And they look a lot more metallic this time around. Now, you can make a Wolverine statue great, or you can really screw it up if you get the arms wrong, and definitely the adamantium claws. The arms are spectacular here, guys. And complementing that is definitely his adamantium claws. Just take a look at that. I love the gloves here. They did a really great job with the wash, but most importantly, they are heavy. They are metallic. This is freaking amazing. And it just overall completes it. The other side of the arm, or the other arm rather, is equally impressive. And I definitely like the fact that his sculpt in his hand looks like he's about to gouge somebody. It is freaking cool, guys. The illusion is perfect. The lower section of this half of the statue, or maquette rather, is equally impressive, guys. You know, I've always loved, again, this costume, and particularly for the yellow shading, they did it really well here. They really emphasized the boots and the musculature in his legs. But what I think is the coolest thing about this piece, and it has to relate to the costume, is always that belt. That belt buckle looks spectacular this time around, and I think they really get it right. I'm not sure if I'm more impressed with this smaller version of the Wolverine or the premium format with the brown costume that I reviewed a couple months ago. I'm not sure if this is standard issue with all the maquettes, but the maquette that I was sent for review actually has the alternate head, and it's more in line with the original comic or the original appearance of the Wolverine in issue number 180. And guys, it is freaking cool. I never realized how much I liked it until I saw a 3D rendering of it in this maquette. And guys, I have to admit, it's hard for me to decide on which head I want to put. It is fully magnetic, similar to the head sculpt for the Hulk. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, the arms, or the adamantium claws, are both fully magnetic, so there is a little bit of building that you have to do with this statue. Now guys, normally, and you know this about me, I try to tend to compact the base as much as possible because I don't want to waste any space. But this one absolutely needs it, particularly for the balancing. Although I will say it's well balanced, it doesn't lean or doesn't tip at all. Now, this thing is beautiful, guys. It's essentially sitting on a rock, and what I love about it is the fact that the Hulk is crushing a freaking tree trunk. And it's also something that you have to build as well. It doesn't come like that out of the box. Guys, overall, this is a magnificent piece, guys. Now, again, I have to reiterate, though, this is not for the casual collector. If you are somebody who occasionally has something, you know, maybe this is not the piece for you. I'm not discouraging you. I'm just saying that this one takes a little bit of space in the house. But, guys, even though I was initially intimidated by this piece when I took it out of the box, once you have it out, you realize how magnificent it is, and you will try to find a place for it, guys. Trust me. Now, it hurts me to have to say this, but this one was an instant holy grail piece the minute the pre-orders went up, and this is why pre-orders are so important. And because of that reason, I really got to thank the folks over at Sideshow Collectibles for sending this wonderful piece over for review. Alright everybody, so that's been my official review of the Incredible Hulk and the Wolverine Maquette from Sideshow Collectibles. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.